Good morning and welcome to day 68 of Going from Heavy to Light. Yesterday I was speaking with a woman who was considering working with me because she's got issues with overeating and emotional eating, and we were having a discussion, and after I got off the phone with her, I was thinking more about emotional eating because every binge eater is an emotional eater, but not every emotional eater is a binge eater. So we weren't sure as it related to her, but when I hung up, I was thinking more about the idea of emotional eating, and what came to mind is I was imagining a person who's standing in a swimming pool and they have a beach ball in their hand, or they're standing in the ocean or something. They have a beach ball in their hand and they're really bothered by something. Let's say someone hurt their feelings, or they didn't get a promotion, or just something that is making them feel like they want to turn to food to numb out. And the visual that I had was imagining that person trying to stuff down those feelings by pushing the beach ball underwater with one hand, and they're pushing and pushing and trying so hard to not deal with the feelings and instead just push them down, and with the other hand they're eating a piece of cake, or they're eating some sort of junk food to deal with their feelings. So one hand is pushing the emotions away and trying so hard to keep them underwater, and the other hand is numbing those emotions by turning to food. And it just seemed so odd. Even though I was an emotional eater and a binge eater for 45 years, the thought of that just seemed so odd. And then the next thing that came to my mind was something that Kyle Cease talks about, and I've brought him up before. And he says, imagine if you were in a playground and somebody's kid came up to you and told you something. Like, how would you respond to them? So let's say I was in a playground and somebody's kid came over to me and said, I'm feeling so hurt because those kids don't want to play with me, and I'm going to go eat something to numb out, or because I don't want to focus on the hurt that I'm feeling. And what Kyle says is, like, what would you tell that young kid? Would you tell the kid, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, go eat food? Or would you have a strategy or something kind, or something that showed you were patient with this child? And I like thinking about that because the bottom line is we're all that young child. We all have those wounds and the hurts and the traumas that are leading to our feelings when that get hurt, or things that do lead us to turn to food or other addictions. So I think it's just something really nice to imagine anytime something happens, like maybe you're going to talk negatively to yourself about yourself, or you're going to abuse your body with food or other addictions, is to imagine that young child of somebody else's coming up and talking to you, and think about, how would you talk to that child? What would you suggest to them? And then give yourself time to think that through and act accordingly. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.